Hi, everybody. It's Jennifer here, and I am so excited to be back again for a live video about a very important topic. And I've got Phoebe here with me. She says, hello. Oh, she actually just picked up her paw. Hello. So I just wanted to welcome anybody who's new and remind everybody to subscribe to the weekly email blog. And you can do that by going to the Facebook page and clicking um, on the sign up button. And that way you can get on the list and get the weekly emails about lots of really great topics. Also, in the emails, I talk a little bit about how whatever topic is that week, how it applies to coaching my clients, and perhaps that resonates with you. So, today I want to talk about presents. And it's the holiday time. And so it just occurred to me that presents is a great present. And I started thinking about that and really considering the gift that it is when we are fully present. So I decided to write about that this week and I decided to talk about it in the video. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because it is so important for so many reasons. Not just for the gift that your presence is to others, but the gift that it also is to yourself. Now, we spend a lot of our time, a lot of our lives distracted, and especially this time of year. And it's December right now, and we are a week away from Christmas and Hanukkah and every other holiday that's important to people. New Year's is coming, and we are crazy, right? Like some people are shopping, some people are decorating or cooking or parties and things, just the list of things I have to send to school, and I have to get a Secret Santa for my daughter's cheer team. And like it just goes on, and we all have our own version of those lists. And what can happen, and it's not just around this time of year, it just gets worse this time of year, is our minds take over and we get very much in our heads. And what I have been finding for myself lately is that I feel a bit like a ping pong, not a ping pong, a pinball ball, where my mind is just like ding, 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 like just all over the place. I literally walk into a room and I don't know why I went there. I have a thought come in like, oh, I need to buy something. And by the time I even get to my phone where I keep my list, I can't even remember what it was. Um, if I say, oh, when I get home, I'm going to do X, I've got to voice email myself in the car because I won't remember when I get home. Like when I get in my head, I'm so distracted. And it's ironic because you would think that your mind is what brings you thoughts and clarity and focus. We think we focus with our minds, but we don't focus with our minds. We actually distract with our minds. Our minds are not our friend when it comes to that. Our minds keep us awake at night, like thought, 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 thought. I'm sure we've all experienced that, some people more than others. Our minds distract, our minds worry, our minds are either in the past, either remembering the past, thinking about how the past could have been. Well, if I had said that, or maybe I should have, or what did I say? Did I offend them? Should I have? Oh, well, that person hurt me. Why did they say that? What did they mean? I mean, my gosh, the amount of time we spend in the past or we're in the future. The mind is like, well, maybe if I go, or I'm going to fantasize about how a conversation is going to go, or what will happen if I do this, then that might happen, then this might happen, and it's like, whoa, our minds are the distraction. Our minds are the pinball machine. Our minds are what keep us awake at night. Our spirit, our soul, our inner energy, our higher self, our soulful self, whatever the word is that you want to resonate with for your inner being. I like to say higher self. That is what brings you presence. And it is only when we can try to tell our minds, thank you, but no thank you. I'm going to give you a break, that we can allow ourselves to connect inside. When we connect inside is when we find peace, when we find stillness. That is when we can focus and we get clarity. We can think straight. Ideas come. Everything you have to get done becomes very obvious. It just becomes like, instead of like ding, 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 it just becomes, you still have all the same things to do. It just becomes more like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then it all falls into place. And for me, what I find is that when it's not about necessarily meditating. It's about what I'm talking, and meditating is important. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about presence. And presence is just in any moment, anywhere. You're not going to like sit down and be like, oh, I'm going to meditate. Even just right now, being there, feeling this chair, feeling my shirts, feeling the temperature of the room. Like I am right here, right now with you on this video. And what happens usually is that's not the case. We are all over the place. We're in the past, we're in the future, we're just very distracted. So what the experience and what I want to share with you when I'm able to put my mind at rest for a moment, even by driving down the car, and I kind of envision it as like bringing it in, coming back onto subject, coming back onto myself as my focal point. It's like it was all out here everywhere, and I kind of back in, and I'm driving, and I feel the steering wheel, and I feel the seat on my back, and I hear the music or whatever sounds, or the sounds of the cars, the air conditioner or the heater. I see the trees that I hadn't even seen, and all of a sudden I'm acutely aware of my surroundings. It doesn't take actually doing anything. It doesn't take stopping a conversation, even shifting your gaze if you're with people. It's just becoming aware of being aware in a moment in your present now. Because the reality is that the only time to live is now. The past and the future are fantasies. And what happens when we're present is what I was going to say is I come in, and in that moment, it's like, you know that when there's a noise, like there's a fan going, or a really grating like song on the radio that's too loud, or a dog that's just barking, and you're not even aware of the sound of the fan or the radio or that dog until it stops. Somebody goes, oh, and they get up and they just turn off that fan that was going, and then they turn it off and you go, oh, thank you. And it's not until it stops that you actually realize how much it was grating on you. That's the experience that I find that happens when all of a sudden I come in onto myself, I come into my body, and I'm there. It's like, because my mind for a moment just stops, and I just look around, and right now I'm just looking at my desk, and it's peaceful, and that's when the mind is actually at rest, and I go, and then all of a sudden clarity comes. I consider this, as I was writing my email yesterday, I came up with the term of a micro meditation. So it is somewhat of a meditation because you are getting present to now, and you're giving your mind a rest, but it's not meditating in the sense of when you sit for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes or however long. It's micro meditations. It's meditations on the go, micro, just for 10 seconds, be present. And then you'll distract again, because that's the way our minds work. Our minds are not cooperative in this process. So if you have trouble, don't think it's you. Don't create it. I would recommend not creating a story that there's something wrong with you, or there is a way that you just are that prevents you from being present or even meditating, there's nothing different about you than anybody else. Everybody's minds don't want to shut up. It's just the way we're built. Some people more than others, but it's just the way we're designed. And so it takes an intentional choice to work at being able to cultivate these brief moments. And again, it's not like, okay, I'm going to shut my mind off now and be present, and for an hour I'm acutely aware of everything around me. It doesn't work that way. It's moments, but you need to choose it, and you need to decide that you can. So that's part of it. A couple of things you can do is, when you are with people, try playing a game with yourself and really being present to them. Listen to them, look them straight in the eyes. Notice the movements of their mouth, the color of their eyes, the expressions on their face. If you do practice gift giving this year, when somebody's opening a gift, especially if there are multiple gifts, you know, how often does somebody we hand out gifts and then we go and we grab more? Just stop and watch people open a gift. Watch their face. What is their reaction? What are they doing? Are they excited? Do they go, oh, that's nice, and they hate it? Like, what are they actually doing? Like, be there. Be aware of when people are talking and you're already formulating your response. I know for me, I can easily get excited and be an interrupter. I'm aware of it, and I, most of the time, not all the time, will say, I'm so sorry, I just interrupted you, go ahead. But I'm so excited to contribute. Well, what that excitement actually really is that I'm not present. Because if I'm so excited to contribute, I'm more focused on my response and my contribution than what the person is actually saying. When I'm actually present, I might have some thoughts, but I'm there with them until they're done speaking. When you're out and about, you know, you could be in a store, you could be in the grocery store, you could be in the mall, you could be wherever, and just like come in and just take a look. If you're standing in an aisle in Walmart or Target, just pause for just a moment and just look around. Go up at the fluorescent lights and the pattern on the floor. What is the floor? What's the floor in your Target? Do you know? Probably not, because we fly in and we fly out. Some Targets have the white floors. Some have the little areas of their fake wood floors near the clothing to make it look all cute, right? Like, what is the floor? Who's around you? What does the man look like that's looking at toothpaste next to you? You know, just be acutely aware. You will find yourself, number one, relaxing, but it will be a very different experience for you. One of the things you can do too is, somewhat if it is already built in, is to put alerts in your phone or in your watch. I don't know about other devices, but I do know my Apple Watch reminds me to breathe, and you can set the interval. You can use the Breathe app to be your presence app. Like every time it says breathe, you could be like, oh, I'm going to get present. Some kind of an alert during the day, because we're not present. We actually often don't think about being present, and it takes cultivating a practice of presence. And, you know, I talked about seeing people, hearing people, experiencing your surroundings. Just play with it. See what comes up for you. The one thing I want to leave you with, the last thought, is to understand, I don't care who you are or what you think of yourself, what stories you have, you are a gift. You are a gift to the world. You are a gift to the people around you. Even people who maybe you think don't like you, or people in your family that maybe you butt heads with, that all that is irrelevant. That's all on the surface. You are a gift. You are a contribution. And when you show up with people and you're present with them, that enhances the gift that you are. And in return, you get a connection and an experience like you've never had before. So the more you do this, the more I think you will see what I mean, and the more you will want it. But like I said, it does take a choice. It does take some effort. It takes putting things in to remind yourself, um, and just understanding that that's it. And that really your presence for a lot of people in your life is the only present that they need. So thank you for listening. Again, I appreciate all of you, and please invite your friends, share the links, and as our community grows, it's only going to get better and better. And oh, and I forgot to mention, my new website is up. So it is drjenniferedwards.com, just drjenniferedwards.com. So please feel free to check that out. All right, have a great day. Bye.